there dreamers, I'm Grace and welcome to today's video where we'll be going over the first 4 of 10 steps total to kickstart your van life journey. Whether you're dreaming of van life on the road or already planning your conversion build, this guide is packed with tips and tricks to get you started. This is the first episode of my YouTube series, Driven by Dreams. I'll be sharing my personal experience and how I got started step by step with van life in this exact order. I'll be offering lessons and insights from my time on the road this past year in my 1985 Chevy van, the Vintage Voyager. I've added timestamps below because I value your time and you know why you're here, so let's dive into the world of van life and make your dreams a reality. Step 1. Mental prep. Creating peace and minimizing stress in your van life experience is key, given its unpredictable nature. Even in a high-tech van, most people are not thinking if, but when they'll run into van issues or need maintenance due to the miles put on it. In my initial 8-month journey, covering about 30,000 miles, I experienced being stranded in the Arizona desert with only one water bottle and a ramen packet. Heat exhaustion and heat stroke are no joke, so make sure you know the signs and differences so you don't end up like me, delusionally writing a will during a life or death situation.
But stay on this side. Something's really leaking a lot. Oh my god. Hey, get out. What are you doing? Something's spilling.
Or you might find yourself fainting in a gas station in 108-degree California weather, because some things you just can't predict, like a live cord coming loose and sparking fire underneath your van, quite literally being cooked inside a metal box. And I'm pretty sure I still have an active missing persons report when some psychos held me captive in Minnesota. I got robbed twice in 12 hours. I consider myself incredibly lucky to be alive after all I went through. Delving into those experiences would require hours. So it's essential to do your research, have a backup plan, and carry all necessities like extra fuel, spares, flashlights, and protection. I never thought I would be a gun carrier, but van life had me reconsider. However you choose to protect yourself, make sure to prioritize security measures and maintain vigilance about your surroundings. But there are numerous videos online about emergency preparedness, so I want to focus more on my experience while providing you with valuable tips. How to mentally prep. Mentally and emotionally preparing for van life involves learning to let go of things that are outside of your control. This means accepting that breakdowns and unexpected challenges will happen, and that's okay. It's about embracing the adventure and being open to new experiences, even when they're not what we had planned. One way to practice this mindset before delving into van life is to start small. Try taking weekend camping trips or extended road trips where you can practice living with less and dealing with unexpected situations. This can help you build confidence in your ability to adapt and thrive in a van life setting. Before buying my van, I randomly packed my Jeep Renegade one 4 a.m. morning and set off for the coast of California. It was my first ever solo trip and a great 8-day test run for this lifestyle. Practicing mindfulness and meditation can also help you stay grounded and focused during the ups and downs you'll encounter. Learning to let go of expectations and be present in the moment can make the experience much more enjoyable and fulfilling. Don't skip the mental and emotional prep because it's just as important as the physical preparation when it comes to van life. And by learning to let go of control, you can set yourself up for a more positive and rewarding experience on the road. Once you feel okay with where you are mentally and emotionally, you can move on to Step 2. Research. Canceling all of my subscriptions and getting YouTube Premium was a game changer for me. I found tons of pages to follow online, people sharing their van life experiences and offering valuable tips. It's crucial to find someone who aligns with your dreams and aspirations, no matter how niche they may be. Research doesn't have to be limited to TV and social media. I spent countless hours asking ChatGPT the most random questions, especially when I struggled to grasp a particular topic. I once asked, "Explain electricity to me like I'm 5." The responses were incredibly helpful. I also got a library card and delved into books about camping, RVing, national parks, and the U.S. highway system, as well as dedicated hours to watching survival shows like Man vs. Wild. I had this somewhat irrational fear of being abducted by aliens in the national park hotspot, so I avoided parking by water. If you've seen this documentary, you get it. I also found value in joining tons of Facebook groups. Joining a group specific to the type of van you want, like I did with this Chevy G20 group, can be really helpful. How to get inspired. Watching the documentary Expedition Happiness was incredibly inspiring for me. It follows a Berlin couple, Felix and Mowgli, along with their dog Max as they travel from New York to Alaska, then down to Mexico, crossing borders and facing various challenges along the way. The documentary showcases how they pursued their dreams on the road, with Felix creating the amazing documentary itself on Netflix, and Mowgli writing songs that became the soundtrack for the documentary. It was my most listened to album on Spotify last year. This inspiration led me to the idea of using van life to chase my own dreams.
Step 3, manifest. Once you've done the research, start envisioning what features you want in your van.
TheVanCamper.com is a great website where you can browse for used, partially built, or fully built conversion vans. Try filtering by roof, kitchen, fuel, and amenities to find the right build for you. Make lists of needs versus wants. For example, I needed a high-top van for standing room. I also envisioned the colors of my brand, not thinking I'd find it, but my van turned out to be the exact color called Vintage Green. Okay, pause. Holy crap, guys. While I was making this video, I realized that's my van. It is up for sale again. I was literally shook. This was October 25th, my final goodbye to the van. I made this video for potential buyers and ended up selling it the very next day. After 8 months on the road, I was yearning for stillness. I rented an Airbnb in Tampa for a month to rest and contemplate my next steps. I missed the comforts of a cozy bed and a routine. Despite the freedom and adventure of van life, I realized that it was taking a toll on my health. The constant movement left me drained. My days in Florida were spent journaling and reflecting on my journey, grappling with conflicting feelings about the freedom on the road versus the stability of settling down. Ultimately, I found clarity by following my intuition. My advice to anyone considering a similar lifestyle is make sure you have a home, a destination, or a goal. Without these anchors, wandering can feel more like running away. But it's often in those moments of wandering that we find our true direction. Anyway, so that's where my head's been at these last few days. I had planned to post this episode on Sunday, but seeing my van for sale really stirred my emotions and definitely hit me harder than I expected. Maybe it's the full moon or my cycle and my apartment losing power the other day. Or the fact that I'm currently at a crossroads again with a big life decision to make and just letting my anxiety eat me up. But these are all excuses and I'm sorry for the delay. I appreciate you watching this and I plan to be more consistent in the future. Back to the van life.
How to manifest your dream life.
The manifestation techniques I found the most helpful came from life coach Sharon Eskandati, who teaches the FLOW method. FLOW stands for focus, live in the energy, outcome detachment, and work. I found this technique most relatable as it teaches manifesting as a form of healing, to do the shadow work and truly let go of your limiting beliefs so that we can invite abundance and intentional bliss into our lives. It's less about being delusional and more about being true and authentic to yourself and healing those parts of you that might not believe you are worthy of your dreams. Focus. Narrow down what you want and get clear on what you are calling in. Then comes the next stage of living in the energy. This is acting as if you already have it. You need to maintain an abundance mindset, believing that the right van or dream, whatever it is you're calling in, will come. And remember the detachment part. Understand that we choose what we want, but the universe decides how, when, and where it will happen. You have to release the timeline. Some say manifesting is just positive thinking. They may not realize that it takes intentionality and work. It's not like an 11/11 wish. To believe you deserve your dream life, you have to raise your frequency so that you vibrate on the same level as what you're calling. Like tapping into the telephone signal of your subconscious mind. Because manifestation is the result of being able to undo facts and beliefs that we have inherited or created for ourselves. In the final step, we do the work, which looks like taking aligned action. It could be opening that business account or applying for a job you're not super qualified for. It's putting yourself in the same path or totality of what you are calling. They say you'll know when you're on the right path when little coincidences happen. There are like little nudges from the universe that tell you you're going the right way. And that perhaps vision boards work because you're putting intention into the world. It reminds you to continue to take aligned action. I'll add some links in the description if you're interested in diving in more.
Had to turn on the lights. It was getting dark in here. It's 8 p.m. though, and the sun is just now going down, which is amazing. You know, summer's close.
A year ago, I saw this quote on a podcast and it changed my life.
You're either working towards your dream or working for someone else's. That makes so much sense. Every company, business, whatever, that's someone's baby, that's someone's dream. You're gonna be working hard for theirs, or are you gonna have something on the side that's your thing? So you might as well find something that you love, something that you're good at, and create value to give to other humans, because that is the way to feel fulfilled in what you're doing. You have to find something you love so that, like they say, you don't work a day in your life. And I truly believe that. Like when I'm thrifting, that is me just on a high, headphones in, and I'm just jamming out, having a grand old time. To be able to do that for a job, like that is the dream. Doing what I love and bringing vintage decor and style and greenery, the benefits of all of that to the home and sharing that with people, that is the dream. Since COVID, I think we've all realized that mental health is so important, and that's why I wanted to focus these first 3 steps on mentally preparing yourself for this, because a lot of people don't talk about it. It's really tough to be out there on the road 24/7 because van life is not for everybody. It's not for the faint of heart, for sure, and there's a huge chance that you might actually just hate it. Here are some reasons that people might hate it. Just assume that it's not going to go as planned, because most of the time it doesn't, and you have to be adaptable. You have to have agency to just figure it out, because it's mentally taxing to be able to just keep going after just being kicked down. And that's exactly how building a business or chasing a passion and chasing your dreams is. You're gonna be knocked down. It's not gonna be easy peasy. Everybody would do it if it was easy peasy. All this podcast that said every human, every person, every soul has one gift that no one else can do, like one thing. It also said that it's sometimes tied to your biggest weakness, which that's pretty interesting. I want to know the science behind it, but I want to believe in it, and I'm gonna believe in it because everybody is unique. There is no other you. For anyone like me who thought that their idea was gonna get stolen, we have to humble ourselves, because ideas bounce around in this weird, like, magnetic, energetic space until they find somebody that's willing to execute. Is it really your idea, or is it just a seed? Because an idea is not a tangible thing. You can't eat idea. You can't pay your rent with idea. A seed you're holding so tightly in your fist is completely useless until you put it into work. Put it in work. Open up that fist and plant that seed. Strive to make 1% progress every day towards that dream, whatever it is. 1% progress. Today you pick out the name, maybe tomorrow you pick out your brand colors, or you make a logo, or you start your Instagram, you make that YouTube channel, you post your first actual long form horizontal YouTube video like I am today after, I don't know, a year of talking about it. But 1% progress every single day. That way it doesn't overwhelm you. I think a lot of us have experienced this, where we like see something on TikTok or Facebook or whatever it is, and you're like, I had that idea once. Ideas bounce around. And I also highly suggest Skillshare, which is a website where you can learn different skills. It's normal people just making videos of what they're good at, what they're skilled at, for other people to watch. And there is thousands of things that you can learn on there. Here's my running list. Go at your own pace. Maybe you have 3 kids or 3 jobs, or you're battling anxiety and depression. Go at your pace, but strive to do 1%. I think everybody could do 1%. That's trying to better yourself every day. Some of it might be just personal growth, or you got out of bed and you made your bed right away instead of waiting until noon that day. Like, that is progress, and you will be surprised at how those little tiny increments add up, and how much better you'll feel about yourself, and in turn you'll have that confidence to chase that dream. Because this was the big quote that like when I say a mental shift, this one was so good. It's the Diary of a CEO, but he said, to build a business you have to build yourself. You have to do the personal growth, and that's what I've been trying to focus on this past year, and the difference I've felt in myself, like about myself, and how much confidence I've built just by working on myself and my insecurities. Because oftentimes we don't want to look at it. We don't want to put that mirror to our face and really look at, like, what is my issue? And I definitely was not looking at myself at all. When I lived in Scottsdale, that was like my party girl era. I was living the whole Scottsdale lifestyle. I was avoiding a lot of things. I had to stop running away from myself and trauma and just take that mirror. As hard as it is, I think we are so scared of what we'll see when in reality, build up to looking at that mirror is the hardest part. That's the scariest part. Not wanting to look at it and like dragging that on for so long is the misery part. The other side of that, it's so much easier. It's so much easier because once you're aware of it, it loses its power. You have to let go of your story with that, the emotions you have attached to that. Facing it is the only way to have your agency and power back. You're too scared to look behind that door or open that closet where, you know, it's gonna keep knocking every day. And I realized this just 2 months ago, maybe. You know when you have that like dreadfulness? Have you ever woken up and you're just like, I am dreading this day for like no reason at all? It could be sunny outside, maybe it's gloomy. Why am I feeling so dreadful? And it took me this long to realize it's because I feel this sense of doom, and the sense of doom came from this little person I've hidden in the closet. Maybe it's your inner child, maybe it's your past, but whatever it is, it's been knocking and knocking. You've hid it because what we do is we hide the parts of ourselves that we have deemed unlovable. When's the last time you felt so incredibly excited about something that your heart beat out of your chest? You felt so anxious and nervous to present something, to actually put yourself out there. And a lot of us might be traumatized from school days. I know I was a little bit. Try to avoid situations in where we might fail or might give us anxiety or trying something new. But if you're not constantly seeking to grow and build on your character, your growth, your financial needs, all of that, how do you expect to reach your goals and have that dream life? It's gonna take work. I mean, I guess you can like maybe marry rich or something. But even then, I think that to have a fulfilled life, you have to work on yourself first, because all the money in the world, all the materials in the world, you can still feel like you're not doing enough or like those things are not filling your cup. I actually believe that not filling your cup up first is selfish, because if you're pouring your soul and energy into your family, your pets, your job, whatever it may be, you eventually are gonna burn out, or you're gonna become resentful, or both. And wouldn't the people you love rather you fill your cup up first with self-care and self-love so that you have the energy to give more abundantly? It is scary, but do you remember the feeling of winning something? Don't you want that back? And to win something, you have to participate. Are you even participating? Would you even be getting a blue ribbon right now in your life? Are you actively participating in your life, or are you sitting on the bleachers? Definitely a journey that I am on. I think I'll be on lifelong, because I'm always seeking to grow and learn about myself. To manifest the life of your dreams, it is possible. It's very possible. I know a lot of people don't believe in the American dream anymore, but damn it, I do. I do. The refugee in me will not let me give up on the American dream, and I don't think you should either. My ring camera light just decided to turn off. I don't know why. Maybe I have to charge it. This is my first time using it, and actually YouTube videos, so we're learning. I might have to finish this tomorrow because it's getting too dark, but I will get back on it. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I would appreciate any feedback or ideas you may have for future videos. I'm still a baby YouTuber here. Your feedback is what helps me in deciding what type of content to make, and I want to make content that you guys want to see. So let me know if you have any ideas down below, and also helps keep me motivated to keep showing up fully and put my entire heart and soul into these videos. I love making videos. Thank you so much for following along, and if you've watched this far, I love you. Thank you, and I hope you have the best days.